My name is Brother Ben X. This particular episode will be about Mama A, which is my mother who picked me up from prison after 10 days old. So this process is going to be about her being my foundation and my rock.
Mama, you know I love you.
I thank Allah for your birth mother, and I thank Allah for your real mother, Mother Adrienne.
Miss Rose used to always tell me, you're not going to ever have your own kids because you wasn't put here to have your own kids. You always got one on your hip, one holding your hand, the other one pulling on your clothes. So you're put here to take care of other people's kids. So I've been raising kids since I was 12. His biological mom is my first cousin. So I was always telling my cousin about his older sister, give me that baby. Let me take care of this baby. And then she said, well, once you write your cousin and she's in jail again, once you write her, maybe she'll let you have this baby. So I wrote her and she agreed. She gave birth to him. They took her back to prison. I drove from Urban to Galveston and picked him up.
My creativity, I believe, started with just my upbringing. I'm born in prison, and so as I analyze the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talk about how we're shaped and molded in the womb, we can feel what the mother feels, we can feel what the mother is thinking. My mom being, with me being born in prison, I'm sure she had thoughts about not being confined, not being controlled, not liking to be in an area where, you're oppressed. And so when I thought about like entrepreneurship was something I never kind of like feared or doubted. Like I always believed like I could do that. I never wanted to have a job. I never wanted to be going to school every day because it just felt like control. I wanted to be free. I wanted to do whatever God put on my heart. And I feel like that was instilled in me through what maybe my mom was feeling. I was known at South Oak Cliff High School for selling candy and eyelashes.
He was doing hair, eyelashes, the candy, the drinks.
My mother was my first supporter, my first funder, my first bank. She used to go buy me bulk candy, honey buns, hot Cheetos, things of that nature, and I would flip it for $1 at school, and that's how I was able to make money. So she would teach me about, hey, this costs $36. The money that you made, you re-up, put that back into your product. We can go back to Sam's and continue to flip. So I sold Gatorades, Big Texas, Snickers, all kind of stuff at school. So I was known for that. I got my first camera around 2010 because that's when I started my YouTube channel, around 2010. And we got that because I just wanted to film my basketball game. So before I even joined the Nation, I already had the mindset of do for self.
He did one, I think it was some kind of video thing he recorded where he was on the news, but he wasn't in the news, and it was something like an accident and something happened to Ben Quan, like he had got killed or something, and everybody started calling my phone, and I'm like, why are y'all calling me? Ain't nothing wrong with Ben, he's sitting right next to me. But he had it on his movie thing. Did you remember that one? When people was calling here talking about what happened to Ben, and somebody said Ben got killed in a car accident, but he was on Channel 5 News. He put himself in Channel 5 News, is what he did. He was just playing, and everybody kept calling him like, ain't nothing wrong with Ben, he's sitting right next to me.
For me, having 21 biological brothers and sisters, and I never really got a chance to interact with them growing up. And so with me having, being the only child, having 21 biological brothers and sisters, I had to create sisters. I had to create brothers in my mind. So that's where the skits would come from, where I would interview myself, I would interact with myself in the videos. No, do I have a brother? I'm just saying, because somebody just came in here with their shirt off saying they my brother and they look just like me.
And another one, he was doing seminar where I worked with my friend, and she was like, when did Ben go to the White House? He just walking up and down the sidewalk at the White House. I said, yeah, I ain't never been to no White House. And that was her first interaction with him. She was like, this boy gonna be something. And I come to work the next day. I said, okay, I need your help. He wants to do his own business.
As I got older, I had a business called DFW Fly Distributors.
I need to get some flyers together so we can create him a business. And that's how he started his first business when he was 13.
And this was basically a business where I would pass out flyers for different businesses and business cards and things of that nature and charge, at that time, 5 cents per flyer. She got this idea from listening to someone else who had a similar business in another state. So I ended up implementing that business.
And he would have this one guy that would give him like $500 every weekend to pass out his flyers. But I was the one passing out the flyers in the sun. Him and his dad was sitting in the gym playing basketball.
Of course, at that age, I was heavy into basketball. So I had AAU games, I'm traveling. And man, when I had AAU games on certain weekends, she would be the one out there passing out my flyers along with my uncle and my best friend Boogie. She came up with the idea she would print out the flyers at her job, bring me the flyers for me to go advertise myself. So I would go door to door to different businesses, letting them know, hey, we DFW Fly Distributors. We gonna pass out your flyers in DFW. And she would be the one that would do that whenever I was busy. So I was kind of like a entrepreneur business owner back in middle school.
Then from there, he went to me and one of my best friends created him some flyers. And from there, he went into the flyers. Made him get a job. That's when he was working at Starlight. I'm like, everybody quit there. They worked there 2 or 3 weeks and they quit. Oh, I can handle it. So he worked there. Then he quit. Then he went to FedEx. Then he quit from FedEx. And it was just YouTube, social media from there. That was it.
I'm getting money, nah for real, 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 nah for real. I keep it on me, nah for real, 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 nah for real. Just got a new roller, nah for real, 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 nah for real. They call me big home, nah for real, nah for real, nah for real, nah for real, nah for real.
So my entrepreneurship spirit started from her because I just wanted to help her. She did so much for me. Anything that I wanted, anything that I needed, as far as cameras, tripods, laptops, I can always go to my mom for that, and she would support that. So I always wanted to see her have some type of freedom. She was always at work. When she came home from work, no matter what was going on in the family, she would always cook. She would always make sure the house clean. I mean, just did her job. And she never had a chance to do things for herself.
She means everything to me.
You have shown me different roles that I needed to know as a young lady.
I can call you no matter what time it is, no matter the day it is. I know you're going to always push through for us.
Kind, giving, always welcoming spirit.
You make people feel like they have this special bond with you. And I definitely feel like I have a special bond with you.
Hardest working women I've ever known. And I just want to say congratulations, Amy. You deserve it.
Thank everybody for showing up today. As y'all know, somebody done spilled the beans. I don't know which one of y'all it was. You already know what the day was.
Congratulations, Adrian, and if anybody deserves it, you do.
Was you aware that Ben was gonna retire you?
She did, but she didn't.
Man, I just knew somebody was gonna spill the beans. Matter of fact, my mom all throughout that week had been asking my dad what we got going on.
When Tay called and asked her what was her favorite colors.
First, she asked her what's her favorite color.
And then it took me, Ben, tell your mama to go get her hair fixed.
Then we had to tell her to get her hair done.
He said, you got your hair fixed? I said, no, I'm sitting around here looking like Buckwheat's sister. Go get your hair done. For what? We having a company thing and I just want you to meet the people in the company. Okay? So the whole week, about 2 or 3 days, Did you call them people to fix your hair? No. When you gonna do it? I don't know. So what y'all got going on? My baby keeps saying he gonna retire me. He been saying that for a couple of years. I was supposed to get my pink slip 7 years ago. Ain't nothing going on. I said, okay.
And then she just knew, like, over the years, this is something I've been wanting to do. So the beans actually was being spilled already because of everything that was happening. But my Uncle Carl is the one who spilled it. I found it at the end. Everybody thought it was my granny. It wasn't my granny. It was my Uncle Carl.
But then my brother-in-law texted me.
At the end, he said that he ended up texting her,
"Congratulations on your retirement." I said, "Thank you, but I ain't retired yet."
Because he had thought I had already did it, and he didn't know what was going on. So this is why when you're trying to plan a surprise, make sure, double check, everybody involved, even their husbands and even their wives, know what's going on. So it was actually my Uncle Carl who spilled the beans. But at any rate, man, I still enjoyed it. I think she was still surprised. I don't think she knew everybody was going to be there. So just to see her there smiling and everybody there celebrating, and to hear everybody's testimonials about her and how she's impacted them, still was a black-tastic event, even though she kind of knew what was about to happen.
I done been there with being through Pee-wee football and everything. I'm proud of it. And I'm more proud of it for what you're doing for your mama. And they'll do anything for any one of us at any given time.
Shonda, to my kids, from me to my kids, you appreciate everything you've ever done. You are a wonderful person with a good heart. And we just wanted to let you know we love you.
Well, on behalf of our deceased mother, I want to say thank you very much for being a strong black woman and taking care of my little brother the way you have.
I thank you for being my sister and Angela, and I love you, and nothing I want to do for you. And Ben and all my other nephews, I'm very proud of you.
And I thank him, and I appreciate what Adrian has done for herself and her children and her husband. Adrian raised a good man. He's always been respectful, and he always have had a hustle about him. And you don't see too many young men like that. Yeah. So I'm congratulating you on your retirement, but I'm also congratulating you for my son-in-law.
It felt amazing, and most importantly, relieving for me to be able to do this for my mom. Many don't know, I was born in prison, and she was she is my biological mother's cousin. So she don't have any biological children, but I look at myself as her biological child because she sacrificed her life to make sure that I had everything that I wanted. It was beautiful for me because I have tweets where I was talking about like wanting to do this for her since I was like in middle school. It's something I've always wanted to do because she's never had a time where, you know, somebody provided for her. She was always like providing for everybody else. My dad ended up getting his leg amputated, and you know, he was getting his check from, you know, Social Security or whatever, but it wasn't enough to pretty much cover the bills. So she never was able to like just be 100% in her role of being a helpmeet or, you know, doing something around the house. Like it always had to include working, and she had to worry about that and think about that while raising me to be who I am. So to be able to retire her and see her, you know, take a jet for the first time, go to Puerto Rico for the first time, go out of town, not to watch me play basketball or for work, but go relax, you know what I mean? If it's go on the beach, you know, I think that was her first time like really being able to relax on the beach. Anytime she had to spend money, it was always for somebody else, me, my dad, my niece. Now, you know, she could have some money in her pocket, go live, you know, go eat, go do something. And just to see her smile and do that, man, was amazing. I'm grateful that I was able to do that before she transitioned, because it's been a long time goal of mine. Everybody that I work with knew that that's what Brother Ben wanted to do, was at least retire his mom. So the fact that I was able to do that was amazing. She said, "I'm going to take care of you, you know, I love you to the moon and back, and I'm going to take care of you to my last breath." And that was so deep because as I think about, you know, what happened, it was past her last breath. A few days after my mother transitioned, I received a call from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
I heard about her, and she took you from the time you were a baby and raised you till the moment of her passing. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Then I know how you feel, brother. And I know the pain. And I'm calling you because how you handle this is the biggest trial of your young and precious life. What did she pass from?
It was they diagnosed her with MSD, so she had a rare blood disorder, and so she got infection in her blood, and then they said that she was bleeding because her blood pressure was dropping, but they couldn't find out where she was bleeding from. So when she had surgery and they went in to look, they still couldn't see where she was bleeding from.
When you was going through cancer, was he in school?
No.
How
3 years cancer free on his birthday is when I rang the bell on June 6, 2019. So I have 2 birthdays. So I rang my cancer free bell on his birthday, but I never let him see me. I had to put him out one day and make him go to the hood, as he called it, and leave. And when he came back, it looked like the house was a tornado. I was looking for that gun. I said, "Where's that gun?" I took it with me. Why? I said, "Because I was going to shoot myself in the head." I knew you was going to do something. That's why I took it with me. Yeah, but that chemo is no joke.
How was Ben in that moment?
He never knew because I never showed it.
He never seen it. So he didn't.
I didn't show anything.
He knew that you had cancer though.
Mm-hmm.
And how was he then?
Oh, he was sending me all kind of videos and articles that the ministers say you should be doing this and how to eat to live and do that and this here cure that, and I had all kind of videos he had sent me. What's the guy that used to do that juice? The one that died. What was his name?
Dick Gary?
Yeah, he used to send me all of that.
Oh, the doctor said
do this, and then another guy that was telling him how they cure cancer. He was sending me all kind of stuff.
You beat it. Congratulations. You gotta get that.
When I made it to the hospital that day for my mom's surgery, I didn't expect that that's the last time I'll see her breathing. When I first got to the hospital, me and my wife were walking in, and my mom is laying on her hospital bed, and basically she had just got her vitals checked. She seems normal. She's in some pain, but she's still herself, telling jokes. But she says something towards the end before she's taken out for surgery. She says, "I've ran my race." I recall my wife saying, "Don't say that, don't say that." She says, "I've ran my race." I'm confused. I'm thinking this is just my mama being my mama, always saying something crazy. But in reality, in this form, she ran her race. As she's being wheeled out of this particular room to go into surgery, I'm looking behind her as she's being wheeled off, and she raises her right hand in a manner as if she was saying farewell. And when she gets out of surgery, my dad goes back to see her. My uncles go back to see her. Family members go back to see her. Now it's time for me and my niece to go see her. My niece goes in first. She's in the room. I go in the room. When I go in the room and I see her on these tubes, breathing through this tube, it's kind of hard to see. She's not conscious at this time. I'm not in the room more than 5 minutes. Something goes wrong. I see the nurses rushing into the room. They're rolling this little thing in as if something is wrong. So they're asking us to kind of move out of the room. I'm not even knowing my mom is flatlining. I'm standing outside of the room now, and I'm seeing them pump on her chest. They pumping on her chest, I guess trying to revive her back. I don't want to see it, so I step around the door. And as I step around the door, I'm sitting here like, man, I know my mama not about to die. I just know this is not happening right now. As I go back and kind of peek in, because again, I don't like seeing this, all I see is my mom's body just jumping up and down because they're trying to revive her. She's just moving and she's like lifeless as they're pumping on her chest. When I saw that, I fell to the ground and started crying. The next thing I hear is my dad say, y'all can stop, y'all can stop. Let her go in peace, let her go in peace. And that was it. Mama was gone. I knew this day would one day come, but I never thought it would come. Later I found out that she came and picked me up at the age of 28 as a baby. Later I realized she returned to Allah at my age of 28. As I look at it, hindsight 2020, after the business fell out and she had to go back and get a job temporarily, man, it was like, as I'm even thinking about it now, it was all in God's plan, because if she did not go back and have to get a job at State Farm, she wouldn't have had the life insurance that she eventually gave to me after she transitioned. So if she would have stayed retired with our company, she wouldn't have had that life insurance, you know. So State Farm was able to offer that due to the short period of time that she had to go back due to transitioning in business. So everything, I mean, that's only God that can put something like that together. Her last breath was the way that I was able to get money in a time where I was like at my darkness. I'm talking about we making millions of dollars a month, and then the company comes crashing down, not because of something that I did, but because, I mean, I'm taking a hit because I'm one of the founders of the company. And I got less than $3,000 in my bank account at the time because the money that I brought in from my program went to a past program or a company that I was with that I ended up having to leave. And all of my people that follow me technically already got my program. So me trying to relaunch it was hard and difficult because technically they already got it. I'm covering 2 households at the time. Well, I'm still covering 2 households. So that was a part of the reason why I had less than $3,000 in the bank account. So it's not that I'm not making money, it's that my money is having to go because of the responsibilities that I have. And the fact that all of her insurance, no matter what, was just me. Like, it wasn't my dad, it wasn't like my brothers, like it was just me. I was the beneficiary. Obviously because she knows that other people are gonna pull on me as well, I assume, but that literally was what saved me, and of course making a good investment with the money. So once I got that money, I was able to put it in an investment. And what's funny is the brother that I invested with this program, I had been seeing him talk about this program for years. But around this time, right before she passed, I said to myself, man, I want to stop depending on sales. I'm never going to stop sales. I'm always going to teach people how to grow their business online. I love that. That's the root of like how I was able to free myself. But I didn't want to keep depending on that for bills. So I said, I need some passive income. Soon as I find out about this program, I start, well, not find out about it, I give it some attention. I say, okay, I'm gonna do it. This happens. So I put in the $2,500 that I had. I end up finding out that I got more life insurance money from her than I thought I would. I say, man, I'm gonna dump it all in there, what I got to lose. And it saved my life, man. It's literally been what has been able to help me pay all the bills that I have, cover the multiple households that I have to cover, and it's all passive income due to this program. So we'll get into the program on the next episode, but literally her passing, she still was able to take care of me and help me and save me even after her returning to God. So Yeah.
You're not laying your mother to rest, because she has returned to him who created her and sent her into this world for the specific purpose of nurturing you for his glory.